start with.
Daddy long that guy. And shout out to Red Light Go.
Hey, you're one of 12 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
Yeah, you know what? To define that better, I think the key there is...
Let's start with Chalmers.
I just lost my train of thought.
Welcome to episode 140 of Nation Real Life. Shout out to Wanye for talking while the intro was playing. I hope you all enjoyed listening to
Some
that.
behind the scenes.
Bag Milks here. Jay is back from his European vacation. Chalmers is in here as well. We got a full studio for the first time since we've moved downstairs to our new studio. Everyone is here. How's it going, boys? You're back, Jay. How's it feel to be back in Canada?
I'm back. I'm adjusted. I've been going to bed really fucking early as I kind of get acclimatized back to North American time. So I'm running on like senior, hours. So I'm in bed by 9, up at 5. But it's kind of nice.
That's not a bad life.
For those who didn't know, where were you?
I was in Finland with
What were you doing there?
I was there to hang out with our friend Larvanen to plan some future travel when we host the Finns here again in January. And Larvanen wanted to show me around and show me the hockey culture of Finland, which turned out to be unreal, and also introduced to me the sauna culture of Finland, which was also very interesting.
Yeah, I got a question about this Larvanen guy.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody wants to know, how does he have so much pull in Finland? How did he get you every ex-Oiler imaginable from Finland?
Well, first off, Finland is a small country, and they're very patriotic and they help each other out, and they're very if you're a big deal, you're still just a normal guy or a normal, person in kind of like the population of Finland. But having said that, Larvanen is a guy who kind of did something he loved and has turned it into a business.
To do with hockey.
To do with sports. Hockey is his favorite sport, right. But he is considered Finland's ultimate sports fan. So he created a persona. So Larvanen is his character name. His real name is Jonas Järvinen. So
now I don't know what to believe, Chalmers.
Yeah.
It's a classic Wanye.
Yeah. It's classic case. Larvanen means tipsy, buzzed.
Oh, clever.
Yeah. So it's very close to his last name because it's Järvinen. So it's just a J as a difference. But yeah, no, he just kind of started a social media account, started going to games, dressed up in a jersey and a wig and glasses, and just kind of started creating a bunch of content around that, and just, it resonated. And so now he works with a lot of companies. He travels around to watch Finnish national sports, whether it be handball, dressage, hockey, it doesn't matter.
Hold on, he gets to watch national dressage.
On a bigger scale.
Finland's huge in dressage. It's almost...
Chalmers, you know what dressage is?
Yeah, it's when horses dance, isn't it?
Sideways, and they have ribbons in their hair and shit.
It's a skill.
But see, so he would be kind of like what Fireman Ed would be to the New York Jets, or the guy that dresses up in the Star Wars stuff in Oakland Raiders. He's like a guy that's been known for just being a super fan and being caught on TV, but having a social media account, and then became famous for it.
Yeah, it's a function of that. Just putting in the effort, doing that, documenting, getting awareness on television and stuff.
Right.
But he's built a business. So in Nordic countries, especially in Europe, but especially in Nordic countries, sports gambling is huge, and it's in the culture. So he works with a big betting company there where they do all these games to win trips. And so he's the personality that hosts these people, because he's the larger than life, fan. Mm-hmm. And so he hosts all these people. So he works with gambling companies. He's got other brands that need help with their social media. So right now he's up in Lapland, which is our Northwest Territories, super, super north. And he's helping a travel company with their social media as his character, because, he's developed this big following, but he's also a content machine. That guy is nonstop. He's got this little 4K camera he holds in his hand that he's always taking videos, asking you questions. He's always on Snapchat. He's always on Instagram stories. He's always posting. He is nonstop.
Oh man, like that guy in the betting documentary. Remember how every morning he would have just 2 phones, and he would just constantly be walking around filming himself do shit like that?
But it's not it's that intrusive either. It's he's
he makes it seem natural,
Yeah.
and that's I think why he's almost so good at it, right?
Yeah, like it's like we're having a conversation, and like mid conversation, he'll just like blah blah blah, like record something done, and like it's like we never lost a step in what the hell we were talking about. He just like includes it into his story.
And now he's like loaded because of his persona and his social media. Just like the Naked Cowboy. Did you ever hear the story of the Naked Cowboy?
No, go on.
I'm aware of the Naked
Oh, this
Cowboy.
dude,
know who
the dude
he
that's
is.
in Central Park, or not Central Park, Times Square all the time.
Oh, I thought this had something to do with Chris Russell. Continue.
No, who's Chris Russell's Naked Cowboy? Oh, like the old Oiler.
What
Is
old?
he still an Oiler?
Wow.
Holy
fucking
smokes!
knows?
All right, tell us your Central
Okay,
Park,
I don't-
whatever.
listen,
Tell us about the other
That
Naked
was like the
Cowboy.
thing where some guy put on there today. He was like, I can't wait to see how McDavid's going to be today. I'm like, fuck, he's playing. Like, I didn't even. There's a game tonight. Like, cool. Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Tisk.
Yeah, the Naked Cowboy basically like was like an actor. He was trying to make it. He like lived in his car for a bit. He would just like would play the guitar, and then one day in the summertime, he just took off all of his clothes and did it in a Speedo, and then he went back the next day, and like he now travels 365 days a year and makes like $500,000 a year. And he'll do like in the wintertime, he's even there, rain or shine. He'll go out for like 18 minutes and then he'll go to the parkade. He'll sit in his car. He'll have some lunch. He'll warm up. He'll go back out. He'll do like 3 shifts a day.
$500,000 from what?
He does events. He gets asked to come around.
A lot of that's
busking.
cash, too.
Yeah, the busking, like just.
Are you ready to surprise Chalmers? The Naked Cap? No, he's not here.
he's-
we don't have that kind of
I
fucking
actually
Naked
heard him on
Cowboy
an interview
smoke.
the
I
other
heard
day,
his
and it was
heart skip a
pretty
beat there.
good. Yeah, no, he was fucking cool. So why do they call Chris Russell the Naked Cowboy or a cowboy? Or what the hell does that mean?
Chris Russell's nickname is the Cowboy because on every single Oilers broadcast, they remind you that his dad was a cowboy and that he grew up on the farm and he's farm boy tough, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Tyler likes to imagine him naked.
Yeah, that's just a.
So you put those two together, Naked Cowboy.
Naked Cowboy.
I'm going to edit this part out.
Well, these mics really do sound great.
They sound
By the
fantastic.
way,
Yeah.
Jay might want to use his mic stand a little bit more. I'm here.
Why? I think he's actually really good.
No,
See-
but I can hear the.
Oh. Yeah, I'm
What?
not
I
worried
haven't
about
even
that.
touched the top
I
yet.
know.
But
You're
that
fine,
that
Jay.
ties into where we are. We're downstairs in the studio. It's the first time I've been down here.
What do you think?
I mean, it's a room, and we didn't do it. Fuck
you, man.
It's great.
Every podcast studio starts with a room, so we're in the
it's
right
great.
direction.
It's great. There's like it's cool, man. Like it sounds good down here. You
The
guys were
sound is
worried
really
about
good.
yeah. You guys were really worried about the sound from upstairs. You can't hear anything. That's great.
Sometimes
and it's
you
not
hear a
even
saw, but-
It's not even soundproof. That's because they're still down here doing some things.
That
right?
big ass box behind you,
yeah,
that's like all soundproofing foam.
yeah.
And then Big Mike's smart and he bought pool noodles so we don't knock our. Hear that pee? That's called a plosive. So that we don't sever our heads on the pointy bulkhead there.
Oh yeah. Pool noodles. They're so huge.
And then Charles brought a giant
So,
ass
yeah,
Oilers
but
Stanley
that-
Cup flag.
So I did see the picture online of it, and I was like, man, that looks like just a fully white wall. Like I expected you guys to not have any decorations up.
Yeah.
So I thought we'd jazz up the walls a
Genius.
little bit with whatever I had.
So they just got to throw the soundproofing shit everywhere. This wall here, I think they're filming that Dustin Nielsen show. The two
The
guys
brick
in the
wall,
goalie.
yeah, the brick wall.
Looks like a fucking ISIS video, but other than that, we're working. on it. Hey, don't blame me for ISIS. I didn't start them.
I also thought that we could while it looks like it does, we can start our own casting couch down here, maybe. Pivot,
but we don't know any girls.
Pivot.
you know,
Pivot?
like no off season, right? A little casting
Pivot?
couch down in the I don't know. Good idea.
So I got 2 ideas for that wall right there. Now, they film 2 guys and a goalie down here.
Yeah.
Right? And on the back of that wall, like that's a Nation podcast, is it not?
Correct.
Right. So I saw some cool art. Like thing number 1 would be a mural, like the Oilers Nation mural painted on there, but like professionally on that rustic wall. I think it would look cool.
But Two Guys and a Goalie is a Nation Network thing,
It's
not
on
just an
network.
Oilers Nation thing.
Well, then make a Nation Network logo.
It's that
do
weird
that.
double N thing that doesn't really.
Yeah, we've tried. Don't worry, we got some ideas.
Yeah.
Looks
We
like
do?
a superhero.
Oh, sure. We're just
Logo.
gonna the wall. It's gonna be a living wall, so it's gonna be there for your viewing pleasure as we just take hilarious stabs at what it should look like until we finally trip over what it's supposed to be, which is, how we proceed with everything we
I was
do in
gonna
life.
say, that's Oilers Nation, though. Like,
Just-
people will be along, and when the Two Guys and a Goalie is then a 5-day-a-week thing with millions of listeners, people will be like, hey, I remember when it was ISIS, 2 guys and a goalie.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I noticed when I came down here was that Yaremchuk, you have a hell of a station over there now.
There was no corners cut. This is legit.
Yeah, this is legit. Couple computers, a whole mixing board. Like
scary
it's
legit.
It's very beautiful over there. Then these high-powered LED lights, which I figured that's what these are.
I don't know how those boys talk
And the beautiful
with these.
camera.
Wait, holy
shit.
Hey?
I just turned on the lights, yeah.
Please save me.
The ugly lights just shine on, eh? It's like 2 a.m. in a bar.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, and then the camera setup, I mean, fuck, it's cool. And you know what? What you always said was I wanted people to walk through like a store, like to go through the kitchen of the cafe, then down this narrow staircase
like
and into the
Goodfellas shit.
basement, past all the big, beautiful stainless steel coolers and all the stuff and then come to this studio in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what it is, man. That's exactly what
We're
it is.
70% of the way there, which is all you need to start.
That's all you need. So,
Yep.
Charles, what would you do in here to fix it up? I mean, obviously, there's some furnace ducting here that nice of them to saw 2 holes in the wall.
So that was a big concern because back in the day they didn't make like full 8-foot basements or 8-foot basements, or they're like 7. You put a duct down, that's another foot. So like the head clearance in here for you guys that are over 6 feet, it's not great, right? So there's just nothing you can do about it,
It's
unfortunately.
1903. It's exactly what a podcast studio would look like in 1903. It's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
I was going
what
to
would
say,
you do with them?
for people who don't know, we're recording in the basement of the Little Brick Cafe.
Yeah.
And Little Brick Cafe was built in
1903.
1903. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here.
And I gave you a price to jackhammer out the floor and then dig down 2 feet so we could have extra clearance, and it was $500,000.
Yes.
And so we didn't do it.
You know what? I'm just going to bump my head and get some pool noodles. Fuck that. That'll be all right.
No. It's cool. I did what would you do? I'd put the soundproofing up, and then let's just throw some cool fucking Oilers gear up.
Yeah.
And just like a cool painted logo, like a mural on that brick wall, I think would be pretty sweet. But
We got the Fugelbergs, Bird Mountain Homes.
Yeah.
Shout out. They're going to be making 2 custom tables for us, like in the
I
office
love it.
upstairs.
Yeah, they're so
that'll
good.
Save a little bit of space over here. Then we got the 2 seats from Rogers or Rexall.
Are we doing hockey sticks again? Is that what they're going to build them on?
Yeah.
So I got a bunch. I should make sure that they know about it.
Yeah.
I've been saving some just in case
perfect.
for something like that.
Let's do it.
I also found yesterday in my parents' basement, I had a fully signed by the Oilers hockey stick.
What year?
2000. Who was one of the players? God, it was like, it's got to be like 2004. 2004?
Okay.
I thought you were about to
think.
say 2006.
No, why would 2006? Oh, no,
Bit of a
not
good
that
year
year.
for the team.
Not that year. No, wait. It's like 1994. Like Bucky's on the team.
Oh, shit.
Bucky's on this team.
Yeah.
Bill Ranford's on the team. Boris Smirnoff's on the team. I think it was like 2004, 2005.
I think it looks good in here, like functionality wise, but I think we need to do a few little things to make it nice. Remember when we built those nice cupboards up there, Chalmers?
Yeah.
And then those mean ass contractors ripped them out?
So these lights too are on big tripods.
Yeah.
I could see mounting them, getting rid of the tripod bases.
Okay.
That'd be nice. The camera, the same thing, having something that we could pull down, set the camera on when they're filming, roll it up, put the camera away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be some
This sounds
functional-
like great podcast content and not an offside chat that we should have.
No, this is real life, bro.
To loop it back to the podcast, we need to make this thing a little bit pretty so we can start getting some guests
That's
in
what
here.
I'm talking about.
And we also have the fully functioning phone. I think I'm confident enough to tease this now because we were supposed to have him today, but now the plan is we're actually going to have him on next week's episode, newly retired Eric Greiba. Everyone had their Eric Greiba notes ready, so if you're a big fan of real life and a big fan of Eric Greiba, next week's episode is going to be must listen to.
Come. I've got questions about cooking.
I also have questions about cooking. I've got questions about beard growth.
That sounds to me like a question to have off podcast, boys. That's boring.
Ooh, I don't know.
I wanna go back
Eric
to-
Greiba would disagree.
For a second, I want to go back to your Finland trip because we got cut off before you even talked about the legends you met while you were there.
Oh, yes.
You met a couple of Oilers legends hooked up by Larvinen, neither of which you expected. And you told the story on ON Radio on Friday, but I think that you should tell it here because it is interesting and fascinating. And I don't understand how you rub elbows with these people.
Oh, well, yeah, to go back to like the question Chalmers asked, yeah, Larvinen's established himself as a legit Finnish celebrity. For perspective, he has like over 100,000 followers on Snapchat, which would equate to 2% of the population of the country.
Wow.
So
They're all Finns?
like 98%. So yes, and he does a lot of work with hockey. He does a lot of work with the national team. He does a lot of work with there's like this charity hockey team that Esatikin heads up. And this is how the whole connection is with him, where they travel around and raise a bunch of money for Finnish charity, just playing hockey. Where like it's this team that Esa heads up, but like Laine, Barkov, like the Aho, like all the big Finns come and play on it in the summer. and just raised a ton of money. And Larvinen's like the coach, super fan.
He's a coach?
Kind of, yeah, like guy that around that team to help kind of promote it. But yeah, I landed in Finland, and 45 minutes after touching ground, I was having lunch with Esa Tikkanen.
I'm shocked that you must feel good that this guy used his probably couple times that he could get Esa to come.
He
and
goes
hang
for
out with
lunch
some
with
people?
Esa like twice a month.
Okay,
Like
then
he
you don't
stays
feel
in contact.
special.
Well, no.
it's just a lunch for Larvinen.
It was just a lunch. It wasn't special for him because Esa's his boy.
Oh yeah.
But
You should have said he's got like once a year, and he pulled it out for me.
well, he did. Like I said, everything he did was a surprise. He just said, like, I didn't even know what the hell the itinerary was. I had a text him the day before. I'm like, are you even picking me up from the airport? What's going on? He's like, JJ, don't worry. I planned your trip 2 months ago. I'm like, whatever. So we get to the restaurant, and he's like, hey, well, I've got a friend joining us. I hope you don't mind. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So whatever, we go around, we order, blah, 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 blah. He's like, oh, I think my friend's showing up. And I turn, and Larvinen knows something's going to happen. So he asks us on video. And he's like, oh, they're like my friend's showing up. So I turn, and I'm like, and literally I was like, holy fucking shit.
No kidding.
I didn't know what to say other than that. And then like everyone just started laughing. And then Esa came and sat down. Like literally we just shot the shit for like an hour and a half.
Could you understand a word he was saying? Because I was reading Wikipedia. I was living vicariously
Tikkanese.
through you. Yeah. And when he first came to the Oilers, they're like, we don't understand a word this motherfucker's saying. Then Curry comes to the Oilers, Tikkanen speaking Tikkanese, and they're like, what's he talking about, Yar? He's like, I don't know either, man. I don't know what this guy's saying.
Yeah, Larvinen was saying
Did
that.
you understand him?
Yeah, no, like he spoke good English. Like so
He's gotten over Tikkanese?
No, because Larvin's like fucks like in Finnish we barely understand him because like he speaks his own dialect of Finn, which is kind of funny. But some things that we're just kind of talking about, and like because we're like I'm gonna see Puljujarvi that night, watch play, and I don't know what the temperature of Finnish like hockey fans or Finnish people are towards Puljujarvi because it is a countryman. So I didn't want to be like, oh, fuck, I can't wait to see how shitty Puljujarvi is or whatever. I was like, so I'm so excited to see Puljujarvi tonight.
Question mark.
And he's like, that fucking guy. He's like, I could slap him and his agent. He's like, I don't know what the hell he's doing. And this coming from Tikkanen. So at least, he feels the same way we feel. He's like, what the hell is he doing? He's doing it all wrong. He needs to understand that Edmonton's his best shot. Like literally, even if... Like in any team in the NHL, Tikkanen's like Edmonton, which he's attached to, is his best chance. So he's like, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but we like it said, super nice guy, really like we're just like having conversations as if like we're friends. He's showing me videos. He works for like the biggest betting company in Europe, Unibet I think it's called, as their ambassador. It's like him and like that big F1 driver.
Michael Schumacher?
No.
That's the one.
The Finnish one. Like me.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, what? That's the only guy I know.
You know what happened to Michael Schumacher,
Yeah,
right?
he's not doing well these days,
He
man.
fucking has been in a coma for like 4 years because he hurt himself
What?
skiing.
Yeah.
You're just finding out? What
Dude.
kind
I don't
of
follow
F1
I didn't know
F1
Connor
racing all
McDavid
that
was
much.
playing today.
I think you're like the last guy on earth who isn't also in a coma to
Not-
get the bad news about Schumacher.
I had no idea. Well,
So anyway,
he
yeah. So
fell
like
in Conta's
Mikko,
head.
fell in
I was
Conta's head.
thinking about how big sports betting is. That all you keep saying is all these people work for sports betting sites.
Well, they're like the big company because sports betting's in the culture. Everyone.
Okay, wait. We all just hold on. We all knew that Michael Schumacher was in it. Who cares? You knew he was in it?
cares?
Buddy,
These motherfuckers
this was
were the
like
top
big
athletes.
news
Yeah.
for like months and months and months and months
Oh,
after
I
that.
beg
Imagine
to
Tiger
differ.
Woods
Big
fell off
months.
at the height of his career.
Did
How
you hear
much-
about Tiger Woods in
Woods and
2009?
Michael
his
Schumacher?
wife is not doing well?
You guys need to stop talking over each other. Oh,
We can't help
it. Well, if Chalmers is going to come and blow our minds with stupidity like that, I
No,
think all
that's
of
a
us
good
are going to
point.
fucking.
If I get checked one more
That's a good
time by
point.
somebody in this room for how I'm podcasting, I'm leaving.
Taking my ball and going home.
Going home. We start a new podcast studio.
Okay,
at the other building.
so not Michael Schumacher is the guy that's helping out.
it's like
with us this evening.
right.
It was Jacques Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Or no, was it?
Gilles Villeneuve.
Oh, Greg Moore. No, we're going down to terrible.
Something happened to all
path.
these guys or something?
Yeah. Oh my God. Anyways, so he works with like that level of like Finnish star doing a bunch of travel hosting and whatnot. And he's showing this video where he took a bunch of people. They love doing trips to New York, and he's at a Rangers game, and like the Rangers honored him and doing all that shit. So like Essa's got some chops. But that was like super crazy. And then all of a sudden we went to all these hockey games, and like, yeah, it's not NHL caliber hockey, but it's still like high paced, high intensity hockey. but like from a fan experience and like atmosphere, Finnish hockey is unbelievable. We go to these like 5,000, 6,000 seat arenas, and everyone is just chanting nonstop, going crazy. You're in these intimate settings. We played with this first team we went to in Hammarlina, HPK. They were playing Puljujarvi, where I was watching Puljujarvi play.
How'd he look?
He needs to be the best guy on the ice, and he wasn't. He had flashes. He skated well, but like he made a lot of nervous passes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like this is Liga level. Like you shouldn't be nervous under pressure. Like you should be able to see through time and have patience and do all that stuff. He made some nervous passes, which was kind of a concern for me. And he had a couple good missed on a breakaway, came in, made a good play, had a shot where he. It was a good shot. It was clocked at 120 kilometers an hour. Cool thing they do in Finland is they track all these stats in game.
And you can see it like on the scoreboard.
They'll do like a recap of the period, being like, oh, Puljujarvi 120 kilometer this, or this guy has skated 7,000 meters so far. So kind of just some neat like
advanced stats.
Yeah, well, if you want to, it's like basic stats, but they're tracking it.
All the players are
chipped.
All the players are chipped in their jerseys, right? So they can track.
And then the puck is chipped too. Yeah, and then the cool thing they do in Hammarlina, I know they do especially because it's like a small town that really gets behind their team, is anytime the team is leading, beer is €3 cheaper.
Is that the guys that have all the logos on their jerseys?
That's Karpat. That's the team Puljujarvi plays. So Karpat is the Yankees of the Liga. So
that's
they've
who
got,
I like.
It's the most northern team in Finland, and they've got the most sponsor support. So like
the Oilers.
If there is a millimeter of space on the jersey or pants or socks or freaking foreheads, there is an ad. And that's why they can afford
Kinda
like the
like a race
Puljujarvi. UC Okinen, who just got suspended 8 games for a hit to a head in Liga. He plays in that team, but like they get all the best players. So they're like the big bad Yankees of the league.
So I got to ask the hard question. What is the consensus on Mikko Koskinen?
Yeah. We talked about this on Owen Radio. So I'm like, Larvin, like, how's because Larvin's friends with Koskinen. I'm like, how's Koskinen looking? He's like, I'm like, how's his glove? He's like, it's not better. I'm like, fuck.
So what do Finnish people think? Like they're happy their boy got paid? Are they mystified?
Oh no, they're very happy for him. They're very happy for him. They also understand that he's got a weak glove hand at the NHL level, and but they, like I said, they're very patriotic and they support their own too. I'm gonna be jumping around from all of these stories, but they kind of all link. They support their own so well that we're at this bar where Larvin has his own table that's like decorated with photos of his face. It's called the Larvinen table. And the bar was packed at like 3 p.m. because there was an EPL, like a Premier League soccer game of Norwich, which is like a bottom team in the league, but it's got a Finnish player on it. So the bar was packed to watch this guy play. So like they're super, passionate about their countrymen. So they love Koskinen. Because also he's done some things at like the national level and stuff, and like national, like world championships, anything national is like, that is above all else. That's above NHL. That's above everything. That's really what all they care about. It's like a pilgrimage to the world championships. Like so much of Finland shows up. And a lot of the Scandinavian and other like European hockey countries, like world championships is big. So it would be cool if we did go there one day and check it out just to see, because we as Canadians don't really show up, because if you're there, it means your team's not in the playoffs. So it's not as like, exciting or whatever to be there. But for them, it's life.
Well, when they came here, they took over a whole section almost, didn't they? Were they chanting and singing? Didn't they make that section's game experience just that much better?
There was only 25 of them, and it sounded like you could hear them all over the building when every time do the chants.
How's their drinking?
The only time we've ever been sold out a beer at Little Brick was when the Finns came.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So at sporting events, they do a good job?
Yeah, but it's like, so when they were traveling, like when they were here, they were going hard in the paint, but like I hung out with a bunch of the guys. So like there was one night when like 12 of the people that were on the trip all traveled to Tempura to like hang out and like have a reunion, which was super cool because they came from all over the country. And like, it wasn't like animal drunk like they were here. They're just like on vacation. So like they
weren't in Kentucky mode.
Yeah, but they probably had like 9 saunas in them already, and they're like sweating out all the toxins.
Tell Chalmers about how every building has a sauna, and that's where you do business.
Oh yeah, so sauna culture in Finland's unreal. Like as you kind of,
I would not make it in Finland because I cannot fucking stand a sauna for more than 3 minutes.
I think you can learn to like it. So every building, like office tower, has and if you're a company, like you'll have your like office sauna. And what they do when they're doing business or kind of big deals is they have something that's called a sauna night. And so they'll host like the other company that they want to do and negotiate a deal with. And they both just like gear down, go in a sauna and like negotiate a deal and have like these like special sauna beers.
And so you said that part of the sauna culture was to jump in the lake afterwards?
So yeah, so like,
is that just at that one thing? Because if you're in a building, there's not going to be any lakes.
Yeah,
valid.
So there's they don't have a lake in the building as well for the sauna, but traditional sauna practice is you sauna, jump in a lake, sauna, jump in a lake, sauna, jump in a lake.
And are these traditional saunas? Is this red cedar? Is this?
So we're in a smoking sauna, like a vintage sauna. So it's they put in the wood, they light it in the morning, begin the day to heat the rocks.
Oh my God.
And it's got like this like woody, smoky smell. And there's like the champion sauna, like the big deal one that's 139 degrees.
You needed one of his hats.
Yeah, if you wear hats, you have to wear those hats because if you don't, you'll burn your head and your ears.
It's that hot?
It's that, buddy. I made the mistake of wearing my necklace, and it's this jade like stone I have, and within like 2 seconds, it was like burning into my chest. I had to run out, and I couldn't even touch it for a minute. I had to like put it under cold water so I could like take it over. Larvin and
so I've got a lot of cock rings. Would that be hard for me to sauna?
Yeah, you'd have to remove
a lot.
Yeah, or make it like as long as it's plastic. If it's metal, take
plastic.
it off.
No, it's
plastic
metal.
would like melt maybe.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe
No,
it
it's gotta
depends
be
on
like,
like
doesn't
heat
aluminum
capacity.
have a low heat?
But yeah, just like there's something we can learn as hockey fans on how to be hockey fans. And it's going to like places like Finland and Sweden and whatnot and kind of getting amongst like just all the energy that they put into watching a game. They've got the rival fans area that's going nuts and chanting. They've got the home team, and then you've got the home team fans that jump in and out of the chants that the supporter group is doing. And it's so entertaining. Like it is actually an event. You're not just watching hockey and you feel like you're a part of something.
So when you go to your first Oilers game this year, are you going to be like a little bit like, oh fuck?
Well,
This is boring.
well, no,
I hope to hell you don't.
I'm not going to be like that, but it's just interesting to see, and it's interesting to see where we can take take the atmosphere in game in North America. There's a few rinks and teams, like fans that kind of have built some things up, but like we have to kind of will our own kind of fan
how do
culture.
you know how you always you have like the fan culture in Seattle for Seattle Seahawks, they're the 12th men, right? How do you start something like that here, you think?
You just have to start, because like this is stuff that goes back years and years and years that they've been doing and adding and kind of evolving, right? So like that's just been
positively, like not to a crazed part where we're all leaving and we want to call radio stations and bitch about trades. Like these people, they're doing it positively, right? Like,
oh yeah,
it's like a good experience.
Or
everybody's having fun. They don't go home and live and die, or do they?
Oh, they live in, like, they're super supportive of their teams. Like when we're in Tempera, like there's player jerseys hanging off, like depending on what side of town you're in, because in Finland, like being a small country, there's only so many teams. So like some cities have 2 teams. So Tempera is big enough to have 2 teams. So the city's like divided. So you're in like Ilves country.
Right,
where,
but do
like,
they meet in the street out front of the pub like an English soccer squad?
And then they have dance offs.
I don't think I didn't get the sense it was that aggressive, because I went out in my Tempera jersey that night, and you know there's people like from that cheer for Ilves, which is the other team, and they're like Tempera, like whatever,
and that's
right?
what I mean.
And then like
a little more positive, a little more subdued.
And then you take a sip of your beer and you have a conversation. That's the one thing. Finns are very good at conversation.
Did you hit any snooze while you were there?
Oh,
Just a quick one while you're having your
No. I'll tell you a funny story about snooze.
I was wondering where.
So Larvin is intense with his snooze, but he's kind of starting to. He's starting to like.
Somebody tell me what this
little
is.
tiny tea bags of chew.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw it for the
yeah.
first time in Iceland. I was in a bathroom. I look in the urinal, and there's like 800 little Tetley tea bags in there. I'm like,
What do we call those here? Bandits?
Bandits was a brand, I think.
Yeah, they're
that-
just called pouches here.
Yeah.
But you can get, I was in BC, I got snus in BC. You can
Yeah.
go, if you go to tobacco shops, you can get snus.
So when Larvinen was here, he's like, Jay, you have to try the snus. And when the Swedes were here, they're like, Jay, you have to try the
love
snus.
the snus.
So I tried the Swedish snus, and I was like, oh, this is great. I got a little buzz. Life is good. And then, so I rocking in my mouth for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Larvin's like, you got to try mine. I had it. It was in my mouth for 30 seconds, and I was like sweating and dizzy, and I was like, holy shit, like this is going to ruin my night. I had to abort mission, like really that fucking fast. It was so intense. So Larvinen's kind of trying to wean himself off the snus, or kind of like going down to like, instead of like, Demorier, he's on the Demorier lights. Shout out Demorier. And, or don't, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shut him out. Fuck it.
So so he forgot to pack his snus when we went to Russia, and we're in the cab, and he sees the cab driver has snus, like, oh, snus, yeah. So the guy gives him one. So Larvinen, like, who's fucking big into the hardcore snus, he has it in. He is sweating, and he's like, oh my fucking God. He's turning to the, what the hell is in this shit? He's like,
That's crystal meth.
he's like, you crazy Russians. And he's saying this to the cab driver. I'm like, what is about to happen? So he got taken down by Russian snus. So it's like Swedish snus is like snus on training wheels that a Canadian boy can try.
All I can think about
Finland's like intense, and then Russia is like knock you on your ass.
how back in the day when we'd come back from vacation, if you asked him if he got a little snus on your trip, that meant a whole different thing.
Yeah, snus was a different application in North America for sure. Or maybe in Edmonton or West Edmonton.
All right, bit of an odd transition, but we're halfway through the podcast. We're going to step aside and hear from the fine folks at Japa.
Have you got holes to dig, earth to pack, and roads to build? Then you need to call Japa Machinery Group. Does your equipment need a service? You can't fix stupid, but here at Japa Machinery Group, we can fix everything else. With a full range of parts to keep your equipment running smoothly. Japa Machinery Group is a family-operated and Alberta-grown business. Here to help build a bigger and better Western Canada. Give us a call or visit us at japamachinery.com. Japa Machinery Group. Join the family.
Welcome back, episode 140 of Nation Real Life. We're still going through Jay's trip a little bit because you had one
Sorry.
more sort of stop, right?
Russia.
Yeah.
You saw another former friend in Russia.
Larvinen again, full of surprises. Everything he did was he didn't tell me anything. He's just like, okay, we're going to be here this day, here this day, here this day, whatever, doing this, eating that. And, surprised me with like an authentic, took me out to the country, to authentic like summer home.
That looked cool.
That was unreal. Met Mirko and, oh, fuck, I forget his wife's name.
You can just say a name.
Like it was like
Claudia.
Liza, I think, Lisa or something. But like reindeer meatballs and lingonberries and this like hilarious
Like
black
it's
sausage.
Lingonberry like drink like at IKEA?
Not the drink, the actual berries. It's like their cranberry side that goes with meatballs and whatnot. And then obviously they have their own little personal lake and like lakeside sauna. So we sauna. It was unreal. But anyways, we took the train to Russia. First time ever on a train that does over 200 kilometers an hour. That was kind of cool.
How was that? Was it an official bullet train?
No, not official. It wasn't a maglev, but it was an interesting experience because like going to Russia, I was like, holy shit, I'm going to Russia. This is like, I'm kind of scared, like, because I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like North Americans going to Russia is crazy. Like I'm telling everyone in Finland, like I can't believe we're going to Russia.
On the
like,
other
what?
side of the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, like super, super interesting. So go on the train, get into the Russian border. So like
It's like a 900-foot tall fence with like hammers and sickles all over.
Well,
and
the
shit.
funny thing with Larvin's like, you'll know when we're in Russia. You can just tell when you look outside. I'm like, oh, whatever. So like before you get the border, Finland exits you with your passports or whatever, and then you go through across the border, and then the Russian border guards come on. And
So you drove?
train.
Oh, you trained?
Yeah.
How long?
3.5 hours.
Do you listen
Not
to the
bad.
Real Life podcast?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just finished saying it wasn't a maglev train and he went
We're going 200 kilometers an hour.
No,
You're still
I
thinking
wasn't
about
listening.
Schumacher, aren't you?
I was.
Yeah, he's in
That
bad
happened
shape.
in
reeling.
2013. Fucking 6 years ago. Give me a break.
Well, it was big news. It was like nonstop. Anyways, so
Agree to disagree.
Larvin knows I'm kind of like nervous, and so he's fucking with me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like when the border guards come on, like just like make eye contact, just say yes, like just give them your stuff, like your passport and your visa, and just like don't say anything, and like just whatever." Well, we get to the border, and then the border Patrol people come on, and they're like fucking rocket babes. I was like, what the hell? But still, they're serious. But there's like they still are serious. They don't. I thought they're gonna have AK-47s on them and all this shit. They were just these turbo Russian babes.
This is a really good story, Chalmers. You might want to listen.
Kalashnikovs is what they carry, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Were they nice or were they mean?
Well, they're trying to, they're mean mugging you the whole time, and you're just like staring in their eyes.
And they're in uniform, which makes it even hotter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you're
Man
lost in their
alive.
eyes. Like, holy shit, what am I supposed to do? What do I like? But yeah, they come and check you in, and now you're in Russia. So you get off in Russia, and now you can tell. You look out the side, like the fence that's along the train is like old and rusty, and like it's not like Finland where it was like all clean and whatever. But you get into St. Petersburg, you come out of the station, and you look around, and you're like, you see Ladas everywhere, and you see like it's kind of like in a little bit more rundown, like beat up area, and you're like, okay, I'm here. Larvinen pulls up his app, which is like Russian Ubers called Get, and he's got a 8 Series BMW come and pick us up, and like whatever, we go to the hotel, check in, and then we make our way to.
Is the hotel Western quality?
Oh yeah, so it's a company. Once shocker, a company Larvinen works with, Sokus, that's based in Finland, that has a hotel in St. Petersburg.
Are Finnish people freaked out by Russians, or is this just me watching CNN too much?
Yeah, like it's every second is there. I'm like, I'm in fucking Russia. Like this is like, holy fuck. Like what am I doing here? Like it feels so weird.
And the Finns like, ain't no thing, don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, because it's like they're neighbors. But then like, you talk to the cab driver and he can speak like good enough English, and you're like, okay, like, and like everyone's checking you in, and like, and the hotel is nice, and there's a toilet, and like everything looks nice, and then the cool thing was to actually have like physical Russian rubles, which I brought some back for us.
Yes. Did you bring any magnets back?
Yes, I do. I've been in my backpack for this whole time.
It's all good.
So I got to remember to take them out. But so like I'm like, okay, like I'm starting to feel kind of like less concerned. But then we go to the rink. And the rink was like, I don't know if it was rush hour, but it took forever. It was like 50 minutes in the cab. And I swear on the map it said it was 5 kilometers away. But anyways, we're going through all this stuff, and I thought maybe Larvinen pissed off the cab driver because of the SNIS comment, calling him a crazy Russian. So I'm like, maybe this is taking longer on purpose. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Maybe you're going to KGB headquarters.
Yeah, I'm just like formulating all these things because I still think it's crazy in Russia. And then we get to the rink, beautiful new arena. So we're going to see SKA play, which is legit like the richest Russian team. It's the former Red Army team.
That's Yak's team.
That's Yak's team.
Yeah.
So we get out. And it's just like, and it's funny the transition from like, you're in like the downtown core of St. Petersburg. So it's like all the old architecture and those buildings down by the rivers and whatnot. And then you kind of go into the interior. So you see like regal Russia on the interior. And then you go to like out to the outskirts and you see like communist Russia. So like the architecture hilariously changes. And it's just like these big, like unpainted, like block style buildings. And like that kind of communist style architecture, I guess, if you want to give it a flavor. And then you get to the arena, and it's just surrounded by all that. And there's this beautiful arena, and SKA's like practice facility is like the most beautiful, like one of the most beautiful structures you can see. So we go in and watch you go into the game, high security. You go through metal detectors, you get pat down. There's military presence everywhere.
Like actual soldiers walking around?
Yeah, this is my favorite part because we got photos.
Yeah, actual soldiers walking around wearing like these big, bulky, like blue camouflage jackets.
Oh, they're strapped underneath those bad
Yeah, they're
boys.
strapped for show.
So like, but like that's the thing. I'm like, I feel safe, but I also know I can't fuck around. So I'm like, okay, like I think I can live with this. And I'm with Larvinen, and the Russians know who Larvinen is because they follow hockey, and they're just like pulling him. Like just yanking him, photo. Like they're pretty aggressive. And he's like, whatever. Like he's just doing it to keep the peace. And then, we go to order a beer, and I'm like, 2 beers, please. And they're like, and this lady doesn't speak English, and she's like, just keeps telling me no. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then we had to talk to someone else, and we find out they don't serve beer on Sundays. It's not a whole in the city thing, but like it's for SKA hockey, and I don't know if it's because of religion or whatnot. So we came in with a good pregame buzz on, and then showed up and found out we couldn't continue the party, which maybe was a blessing in disguise. Who knows? But we went into we go into the rink, and then Finnish hockey has a good atmosphere, but then you walk into the rink and basically they have like Tiesto playing, like literally like a live DJ who's standing in between the two penalty boxes. He's got a little DJ stage and he's just ripping music like so loud. And there's people in there that are 80 and that are 10 years old. Like it didn't matter. They were blasting it. They had all these dancers around him and it's like he was doing like a live show to kind of get everyone going. And then the game goes.
Was it all Russian music?
No. It was like, call it top 40 electronica. Right? So like there's some songs.
Like what was one song you heard?
Oh.
Like they didn't mix in Cotton Eye Joe, did they?
No.
Have you got
Good one, you Remchuk. You
Hit the wrong button.
Cotton Eye Joe hasn't made it to Russia yet, I don't think. But so like it was like really good atmosphere, and then like the game started, and then like they create this situation. So they've got their supporter area that's going nonstop. But they create the situation, which I'm not going to disclose too much because I think we're going to try to do this to disrupt an Oiler game game this season. Yeah. Everyone be warned because it's coming. But they do this thing to allow everyone to participate into the noise without even having to stand up or yell. So like,
because the wave is so hard.
Chalmers,
they
it's
clap.
fucking Russia. They don't do the wave. they do the execution.
They have a different way of clapping, a different technique. Yeah, they really bring in the elbows. But
they clap with the backs of their hands.
Faces.
It was so loud in there, and like anytime the ska had possession or was in the offensive, they're just going nuts and like this. Like it was so loud in there. So like I was guy who was coming in pre-buzzed, hoping to get further Larvined, if you will. Thank you.
I mean, he's almost drunk.
Yeah, and. So I thought I was going to be like falling asleep in my chair, and next thing I'm amped up the whole time, and so it's because of this like crazy like atmosphere that they create. So the fun fact about Jokerit and Ska. So Jokerit's the Helsinki team in the KHL, Chalmers, and it's the same owner. So it's like a Russian oligarch that owns both teams, and there's basically like an unwritten rule. Jokerit does not win in St. Petersburg.
Oh, what's a betting line on that one then?
Well, so Larvin, being the nice guy he was, hooked me up with a $50 credit. I put it all on Tempera to beat Ilves in Tempera.
Fool's bet.
So I made 117 euros, and then I wrote it all on Jokerit at 5.05 to 1 to win in St. Petersburg. So I would have won like $1 million. And
don't bet against the Soviet machine.
Well, and it's funny. So, Jokerit scores, Scott scores first goal, Jokerit ties, Jokerit gets the lead for like 2 minutes. I'm going to win all this money. And then they tie it up. But the game's getting intense. There's like a minute left. And like, sure as shit, bullshit penalty. And then Scott comes in and scores with like 30 seconds left.
Oh my God. The whole time I'm thinking about this, I'm just like, you could not bet on that team. If there's like one place in the world that I wouldn't think a game wasn't rigged,
like
it's
betting
there.
against the Harlem Globetrotters.
So same owner, and so obviously Russian owner,
exactly.
The Russian team of his is going to beat his Helsinki team 99 times out of 100.
And I just thought there was vodka everywhere in Russia, so there was none in that arena.
Not on that Sunday, no. There was
just
not
no
a
alcohol.
lick of booze. Yeah, I had a
This
Pepsi.
goes against everything I've ever thought about Russia.
Yeah, just on Sundays. It gets lit on
They
Mondays.
just make everybody take a day off.
Sunday, yeah.
We need this.
It's forced sobriety. Yeah.
How was Yak?
Yak was so they love Yak there, which was super neat. I didn't notice him much in the first period, but he did. I think he scored the tying goal or the go-ahead goal. He scored a beauty. He came in on a power play, went to the top of the circle, and got past the puck one timer like laser beam. Like he had like enough room to fit a puck, and he put it there to score. It was unreal, and the building erupted.
Big Selly.
Yeah, he was. He's super animated and super excited, and so yeah, it was super neat to see. But like, it's so funny because Ska is the big money club of the KHL, so they've got all the top end talents. Like the year before they had Datsuk, and the year before that they had Datsuk and Kovalchuk and all like these other big name Russians that went back to Russia, and so like they've got the best of the best. So like possession in that game was like 75-25 or 80-20. Like they were playing keep away. Like it was funny how skilled. So like KHL is like super skilled guys that are me first that can't make the NHL because of their me first kind of thing. So they're just like playing keep away with Jokerit because Jokerit's just like basically the Finnish national team.
They know the score.
Yeah, exactly. They know the score. And it was super funny to see that. But then, Ska wins. We could contest. Maybe there was,
You said that with air quotes.
With air quotes that, could be maybe some shadiness, speculation. The Finns definitely always think there's some speculation to be had. But post game, we go to meet, we're going out to meet the players. And I knew I was going to probably meet this guy. His name's Marko Antila. He's the captain of the Finnish national team. And he plays for Jokerit. Good friend of Sammy and Larvin. And Sammy's one of the guys close to me. So, and he's also like 6'8". He's a giant. And so he comes out, we talk to him, and, everything's cool. Like, whatever. Congratulated on the gold medal in the World Championships. I think it came at the Canadians' expense.
Well done.
Which is, I really thought that was funny. And he's like, and all
shout out to the 06 Hurricanes, too, while you're at
it. And all he cared about was like what I thought of Finland. That was the other thing. Like when I talked to Tekin, even though I'd been there for 45 minutes, like, what are you going to do here? Like, they like really care about their country. So they really wanted to know what I thought and what I thought of the hockey and all that good stuff. And then they go away. And then we're staying there for some reason. I don't know why. And this is once again one of Larvinen's secrets, surprises. Then all of a sudden Curry comes out. And I go to him like, is that Yuri Curry? He's like, yeah, I think it is. And all these like fans and stuff go and flock to Curry because Curry's like the man. And Larvinen just like starts yelling at Curry. Like Curry's got like 10 or 15 people around him, like getting autographs.
Larvinen's in full garb.
Larvinen's in full. He doesn't have the wig on. He's just wearing his jersey, and he doesn't have his wig on right now. So he's wearing an Oilers hat. We've converted Larvinen into an Oilers fan because
nice.
His first NHL experience was in Edmonton in 2017 when we brought him and Ufe in. And he just starts yelling at Curry in Finnish, like whatever. And then he says Edmonton, and then something. And then Curry just like stops what he's doing, turns to Larvin and says, Edmonton, where? And just like left the crew of people to come and talk to us.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, like he came, he's just like, and like he really wanted to know my opinion of like what I thought of the game, and like it was like those are a couple bullshit calls, weren't they? And like
anything you say, Yari Curry.
And he's like, there should have been 3 offsides call. Like he was like heated because like he cares, right? But like we're just like talking about the game, and he was just kind of asking my thoughts, and once again asked me like, what do you think of Finland? What have you done? I'm like, holy cow. So yeah, I had like a super cool chat with him, took a photo, and he then went back to the mob of people that were waiting for him, and then he signed everything, and dressed like a prince and hopped on the bus.
So he's the GM of the Finnish national team.
I believe he's the GM of the Finnish national team, and he's the GM of Jokerit.
Okay.
Weren't you listening?
Chalmers, I'm still reeling that you didn't know about Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
I'm still reeling that, Jay, when I had selfish hopes that when I found out you're going to see Ska play, that Putin would be in the building.
It's Putin worthy, yeah.
That would have been incredible.
I don't think he can go to games and shit. I think like the only time he gets to go live was like at the Worlds.
Oh, he's probably got a private
this
box.
is what I would
You
say.
ready
Like,
for this? Team AJHL, like Alberta Junior Hockey League, went to Russia to play in a tournament, and Putin showed up to one of their games.
Wow.
Like these like
he cares.
17, 18-year-old kids from Alberta. I talked to someone,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like, was that like nerve-wracking? And they were like, you have no idea.
How much army showed up.
Yeah, they were like, it was nuts, man. We're like there to play in some under-19 tournament, and you look up in the crowd for their first game in Russia. Like, imagine you going to Russia and be like, ooh, this is kind of weird. Imagine being like 17 years old and pulling into Russia and being like, wow, this is frightening.
Yeah.
And then being like, holy fuck, that's Vladimir Putin in the crowd right there watching me play.
surprised he didn't play. Under 19 tournament
for-
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
He learned
Vlad
to
just-
skate at 63.
He would have lit it up.
He'd never
Absolutely.
skated before in his life, and now he scores 12.
Well, given the military presence of the game, maybe it was there. Like when we were out there waiting for Antila and I guess now Yuri Curry, a huge like convoy of military just leave. Like we're talking like those big like
troop transports,
and then a bunch of like military ladas, and just like there was like a 10
Military ladas.
There was like
it's an
a
oxymoron, isn't it?
When he went
Sure.
to World Championships, it was World Championships, right? He went to, and we talked to Nicholson.
no, it'd been
The
Olympics, I think.
There was 2 helicopters over top the arena the entire time hovering. People were like, what the fuck is going on here? And then like when Putin came out, there was like an audible gasp from all the Russians who were just like, holy fuck. He loves hockey.
I've got an interesting story to tell about my nightlife experience.
I was going to say, did you go to the club?
So it's Sunday.
That's all I wanted to know.
So yeah, well, I'll tell you. I think we'll share this story because I won't name names, and it's not Larvinen. It's just a guy that we knew.
Like so it's Larvinen.
But just so you know, like so there was other people that traveled to come watch the team. So there's other people staying at that hotel. So like we kind of hooked on with a bit of a crew. So there's some like new characters in the show, which will remain nameless, but good people as well. Everyone in Finland I've met to date has been amazing. So after the game, we grab a bite to eat. We go on this hilarious hole in the wall Georgian restaurant. Had Georgian food.
Attaboy.
So
Chalmers, can you name any menu items of a Georgian restaurant?
Schnitzel?
No, that's German.
Potato?
Yeah,
Potato?
there was. Oh yeah. So the lady couldn't speak English, but it was awesome. It had this like lamb soup and like these weird, like awesomely cool shaped dumplings and a bunch of these delicious beers, and some freaking rubbing alcohol tasting vodka shots. That's when I knew I was in Russia.
Gross.
Anyways, so we all go. So in our hotel, there's the sports bar. So all the Finns kind of come back. We congregate there, and we're kind of planning like what the hell we're gonna do. And all of a sudden, one of the guys we're with, he's like, "Oh, I got a friend coming to meet us." Okay, sweet, whatever. Like, who's it gonna be? Fucking Michael Schumacher? Like, who's coming now? But it's one of the other people we hooked onto. And next thing you know, this like very pretty woman shows up and sits down and whatever.
Pretty woman. Get it?
Yeah. And hangs out with us. Super lovely.
It's going there.
Yeah,
Super lovely. Starts sitting on this guy's lap and just like they just
soon.
Yeah, but they're just talking.
So soon in your courtship.
They're just talking. And I'm like, okay, I think I can piece together what's happening here. And whatever, to each their own.
You came on a trip with a Finnish male escort who was hired by a Russian woman?
Yes. And this lady was like, she was like really engaged with the group. We're talking
English,
yeah, great English. And so all of a sudden the topic's like, well, where are we gonna go? Like we have we're in this like, or it's only us in this bar, and like and the hotel must have had like a cruise ship or something staying. It was all old people in there, so it was like really dry and playing no music. So we're like, okay, we got to go. Like, I'm only here once, maybe, I don't know. So we have to like hit the town. So we're like trying to plan. And our buddy's like, well, let's well, her name's Vera, so it doesn't matter because she's in Russia and she isn't listening. Or maybe you are. Hi, Vera.
If there's a 13th listener and it's a Russian prostitute
named Vera.
So Vera's like,
she's like, oh my God, he didn't.
Are you the guy from real life? How can Chalmers not know about Michael Schumacher?
Well, when I go back there, yeah, I'll see what she thought of the episode. But so they're like, so he's like, well, let's get Vera to take us out. Like she knows, like where should we go? Like he knows of this.
Is an escort.
He knows
after all.
He knows of this precinct, and it's like the Nitsky. We have to go to Nitsky. Like, do you know the bars we need to go to and stuff? She's like, what are you guys looking for? And we're like, oh, like not like a nightclub, maybe like just like a bar or whatever. And so I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, am I gonna go out with a Russian prostitute?
You're damn right you are.
This is fucked. So I'm like, oh my God. So like, this is getting momentum. Like, okay, we're calling cabs. I'm like, I gotta go for a second. And Larvinen this whole time wasn't drinking. He made a bet with someone that he won't drink till New Year's, 1,000 euros.
He has to Snapchat the guy at the end of every day, Chalmers, to prove he's sober.
With a breathalyzer. So he's got this breathalyzer. So like,
for 1,000 euros? What's that Canadian?
1,500, 1,400 bucks.
Oh my God.
I think he's more doing it on the principle because someone's challenging him.
Yeah.
He's betting against the principle?
Yeah. And so I go to Larvinen's room and I'm like, okay, remember, like, I think it's crazy that I'm in Russia. And he's like, I'm like, and this Russian prostitute wants to take us on the town. Like, am I safe? He's like, oh yeah, don't worry. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm like, he's like, I know you think it's crazy, but it's fine. You're with other people. He's like, just get the Russian Uber, get the Get app, so you have a way out. Like, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, Mike, leave your phone on.
I don't want to have a way out in this situation.
Chalmers, you gotta have a way out when you're in St. Petersburg.
So we go out and we go to this first little bar, kind of like a pre-drinking bar, and like there's some there's a few people in there, and all of a sudden, like, she's like, oh, give me your phone, like, to the guy she's with. Like, give me your phone. Like, I'll take photos.
Vera, I'd
classic.
say.
No, she's going around taking photos of us, taking photos of this, like, being such an amazing host.
Stealing all your credit card information.
But I'm still like, what the hell is going on? And she's also a translator at the bar and whatever, so we're drinking a bunch of drinks. And I was taking off my my hoodie because I was hot and
Party.
getting my t-shirt. Yeah, it was getting
And his
lit.
pants made him
It was
off.
getting, yeah, my pants were chafing me. It was getting lit on a Sunday. And there's this table of girls, and I'm taking it off, and they're like, ooh, right? Like, I'm like, oh, whatever. So, and then then one of the other guys does
That's
it.
music to your ears, though.
They do the same thing, and we're like, okay, whatever. And so then, like, a bunch of them leave. So then we're there, you know, shooting the shit, having fun with Vera. And we're like, okay, well, we should go find a new place. So now all of a sudden it's like, Vera, where should we go? Like, this is, you know, so far, this is going good.
It's amazing how when you're in a situation, not necessarily with a Russian prostitute, but like somebody, how fast they're in charge. You're like, she'll know what to do. We can trust her.
Well, then, so that's the whole thing. So we walk down the street, and then there's a crew of those girls that were at the bar, and they're like, hey, like, come to this gentleman's club bar. Like, there's not much going on right now. This is probably your best bet. And Vera's like, yeah, I think it'll be fun. I'm like, well, if Vera thinks it's fun, I think it's going to be fun too. Because all of a sudden I went from, holy shit, I'm going out with a Russian prostitute, to now Vera's in charge. Yeah. And it's funny how like that kind of.
Don't ask me, you'll have to ask Vera.
So, well, and that's the thing. In the restaurant, I'm like, Vera, what should I do? Like, she was just our life coach all of a sudden. Like, it's amazing when you travel and you can't speak the language.
You can never let a Russian get an edge on you, man.
Oh, so, well.
She gained your confidence so fast.
Oh, my
unbelievable. Classic.
Right now, Jay's taking a get ride from Moscow to St. Petersburg in that 8 Series Beamer.
Well, granted, I'm not alone. I'm with others. So we go walking down this alley with these other people, and I'm like, why the fuck are we walking down an alley? Like, this is weird. And then we go and we see like this, like, what is it when there's like steps from the outside to go downstairs? Like you can access the basement from the outside.
It's a staircase?
Staircase?
Yeah, so it's like one of
this
those.
This is really hitting all the keywords. Alley, Russian prostitute.
Yeah, so
AK-47s.
So because and then these girls are like, there's a 200 ruble cover charge.
What is that?
Shit.
$5?
Like $5.
I'd pay. Yeah,
it's
go
like,
on.
It's like $5, but they're like, so if you go in the room, it's 200, and like drinks are like this. And then I'm like, oh, I'm still sketched out about this. I'm like, I don't want to commit to anything. They're like, well, just come and see the room, and if you like it, pay, and if not, leave. So we walk down the stairs, and it's like, you know, it looks kind of like strip club signage, because they said it was a gentleman's bar. So we walk in, and then like you go into this room, and it's just like, it's like this vestibule, and there's this desk with like this like Russian gangster looking guy and 2 other girls. And so they're all speaking Russian, saying blah, 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 blah. He goes to me, he goes, you can look inside for 2 seconds, and then you have to close the door. I was like, holy shit.
Was he saying it with a face you didn't disagree
It was
with?
serious.
Yeah.
It was like, listen, motherfucker. So I open the door and I look, and it's just, the room is empty except for along the sides of the walls. There's these poles, and there's just naked girls on every pole. And I was like, nope. So I come back in. I'm like, hey, yeah, let me just talk to the guys.
I have mild asthma, and I need to go outside because of St. Petersburg evening air. Run.
Because I'm like,
That room sounds expensive.
I'm like, if I go in here, this is a fucking shakedown if I've ever seen one. So I'm like, oh, let me talk to the guys. And
Good
the guys,
job.
And then the mobster guy was like chirping me because I'm not gonna like, oh yeah, sure, you're gonna go and talk, blah, blah, whatever, calling me out. And I'm like, so I get out there. I'm like, yeah, guys, I don't want to go in there because they say everything's going to cost as much, but then they're going to tell us it's like 20 times as much, and we can't leave that room because that door is basically locked from the one side. So we're going to be trapped, and we're going to be held hostage until we pay a bunch of money. So let's get the fuck out of here. I'm like, Vera, how could you do this to me?
What about the other 4 girls? Wasn't it the other 4 girls that were like, hey, come to this place?
Yeah, they worked there. They probably got a commission or something for bringing us in. It was all over. But that's the thing.
They spot their mark right when you took your sweater off.
They were plain dressed. Like, they were just like wearing like oversized
It's
parkas
the street
and
team
whatnot.
from the Russian
It's called
strip
being
club.
undercover, JR.
So
What do you think
anyways,
she's going to wear bikinis?
We escape that potential money grab,
Even
and
big dildos in the air. that
We
have,
go- we go
$5
outside.
cover.
Dildo party. Let's go.
$5 for a dildo party. What a deal.
we go outside, and we're just like, and then you kind of recover from that, and then get to realize like, holy shit, like this street we're on is like really amazing, except for that shady alley we just went down. Like, it's like so well lit, all these bars, whatever. So we go have some drinks at another like bar that's not very busy, and then we hop in a cab, 2 cabs, because there was like 6 of us, and Vera went to bed with the one guy, and then me and a few others stayed. The beauty at this hotel is that we got back at 3:30 in the morning, and the hotel bar was still open.
Is
And the
everything in
kitchen was
Russia
still
just
open.
24 hours? Like, if you want it, it's happening.
I think so. Yeah, it must be. So we went and just crushed a bunch of wings and drank a bunch of beer, and I had to get up like
Russian
2 hours
chicken
later.
wings?
Russian chicken wings.
Delicious or niet?
Chernobyl wings. I shouldn't have said that.
They good?
Yeah, they were okay. They don't. Yeah, they didn't have hot wings.
They
So
contain
like,
pigeon.
yeah, they could be. So yeah,
That's fine.
so that was kind of my real life story about going, being led around town with a Russian hooker who earned our trust somehow. We got Stockholmed or something.
Oh, yeah.
And she's the one telling the cabs where to go, which is like that was initially my biggest fear. And then we got almost pushed into going to some shady gentleman's club in an alley in the basement of a building where there's a Russian mobster there telling us what to do, and it was interesting.
That's intense.
I've seen a Russian mobster once. I went to Scores in New York. You know what that is?
Yeah, Scores bar.
Scores man got a tattoo.
What's that?
That's
No,
a
just
Howard
Star
Stern
Trek
reference.
Oh.
yeah.
So we went to this bar. It's like a fancy strip club, right? And I was there and watching the Oilers play in New York. So we roll up, and a buddy of ours was on the Rangers, and we walked up, and the guy in the front door is like top hat, the whole thing, the doorman. And we're like, "Hey, can we get in?" He's like, "Nope." We're like, "Was there a line?" He's like, "Nope." And just looked at us, and we're like, "Okay." And then my one buddy's like, "Oh, we're here with the Rangers and blah 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 blah." And he's like, "Nope." I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? Like, we thought we're adjunct New York Rangers. So the guy to call the guy from the team, gave the phone to the guy. "Oh yeah, sure, come on in." So I'm like, this is fucking wild. The night before, I'd been rented out by Justin Timberlake for a party. So like, we're just not cool enough to go to Scores, right? So we're walking around, we're looking at everything. I'm like, holy shit, this is pretty fucking wild. And we sat down, we ordered 3 drinks. It was like $77 US or some wild shit. And I was like, man, I got to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and there's 3 urinals all in a row. And there's a guy facing me in a suit, and then there's a guy peeing. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. So I go around the guy facing me, and he put his arm out, and it was like he punched me in the chest as hard as he could, and all he did was put his arm out. And I look at this guy, and I assume the same type of look from the security guard at the strip club.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I shouldn't be here. So I just stood there. The guy finished peeing, and then the guy was like, "After you." And I'm like, okay. So I go and have a very easy to pee because I'm ready to pee my pants. He waited in the bathroom until I was done and then washed my hands for me. And that might not sound freaky, but it's probably the most terrifying hand wash of my life.
Like he was touching your hand.
He was the security guard for the fucking guy that was peeing. He was his bodyguard or whatever. And then just to fuck with me, washed my hands for me. When I came back out, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I should really be here. This doesn't feel like... So that was my only encounter with a Russian gangster. I basically just imagined that guy's cloned all over St. Petersburg.
Yeah, it was. It was an authentic experience.
Know what else is an authentic experience? When you head on over to see our friends at Indochino about getting yourself a fresh suit.
Were you waiting for him to say authentic experience?
I've been waiting to pop in here about to talk suits.
Little did people realize... Oh, my word.
Jay is showing
As a
picture.
true tourist, I took a photo of Vera, which we can't post because it'll incriminate the other person.
This guy's wearing an Oilers Nation hat. No, he isn't. Your M-Chuck? Gonna need you to edit that out.
Remchuk is wearing a Oilers Nation hat with Vera. Vera is a lovely lady by the looks on Tyler's face.
Chalmers.
Well,
As
no,
a
I
tourist,
never
I had to document my experience.
Can we put that photo up with like an emoji over his head?
Oh,
Can you put that up just showing Vera?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so.
You think so?
Yeah, we just toss an emoji over there.
I
Okay.
would, for
I
legal
trust
reasons,
Vera
I
all
will
of
not
a
get
sudden.
involved with any Russian hooker posting on.
Oh, I
social
think it's
media.
fine. But we don't. Yeah.
It's the oldest profession in the world.
Yeah.
But
Fair
super
trade.
nice looking. I started talking to her about her sister. She was showing me photos of her family.
See, I would fall in love. This would be my problem.
She, I said,
she's so great.
she was there to hang out with us.
Of course.
It was very.
Do you know what the term kompromat means in Russian?
No.
That is the tried and true strategy of bringing in foreigners, getting them to do shady shit, videotaping it all, and then blackmailing them. It's like a standard KGB play in the playbook.
See, she even looks undercover. She's wearing khaki, power pants. She's not wearing a tight dress like you would think. She's
No,
got nice
doesn't
little
look like a
jacket
hooker.
on.
No,
she
as I
doesn't.
was saying, it's
She looks like she sells fine clothing at a nice restaurant or a nice retail shop.
yeah. So super. Yeah, it was like I said, nothing screamed hooker.
We're trying here, Chalmers.
She was just there to hang out.
just looked at your phone, Jay, and all I saw pop up was a reminder to yourself. JC's hair real? 5 question marks?
Oh.
No.
You proved that?
No, I don't know.
It did. It was a look.
Well, let's.
We're all over the road here. Did that Indochino ad end?
Well, no, we started and then we got distracted by Vera.
Let's try that again.
All right. Vera would specifically request that you go to Indochino and get measured up for a fully customized suit. Tyler is telling me not to use Vera in the Indochino ads, but I can tell you that a sharp-dressed man is made for a sharp-dressed lady. So you head on into Indochino, pick your style of suit, customize that baby any way Vera wants you to, and within 2 to 3 weeks, you will have a wrinkle-free suit right out of the box waiting for you at your door. Head on over to Indochino.com or visit any of their showrooms around North America.
Still think it's a good idea to have native ads in Indochino?
It's about lifestyle, and you know some of the lifestyle is a guy who bought an Indochino suit that says "Hope will never die," who went to Russia and went on a pub crawl led by a Russian prostitute.
Just imagine how popular you would have been in Russia had you brought your Indochino suit with you.
Did you see any amazing examples of Russian largesse? Like, did you see a solid gold Benz drive by?
Yeah, you see. Well, not solid. You saw I saw a Maybach. I saw a lot of like pimped out Range Rovers. A lot of super nice like other Mercedes. Is like there are some like real nice cars because there's some really 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 rich people there. Very interesting.
Is this episode going to be called From Russia with Love or something like that?
From Vera.
From Vera with Love.
Yeah.
Can you make that happen, your Chuck?
Well, I felt we had to tell that story.
No, you had to.
That's a
buddy.
great story.
The best part, that was the best part.
I was in Russia for 24 hours.
All the hockey stuff I could have give or take, but
the hockgy was
whatever.
cool.
The Schumacher news was depressing.
Well, the thing I do want to bring up, the thing I want to bring up about all this travel is like, the whole time while I was traveling there, I'm like, Finland's so cool, and like going to these hockey games is so cool. I'm like, I want to, and I've talked to Larvinen already, and he's going to work some magic on his end, but I want to put together a trip for next September to bring a bunch of people from Edmonton or Alberta or wherever, but to come join us and do like a 10 to 20 person trip to Finland for our little preseason to get us amped up as fans to kind of see kind of how a different world, looks and acts for hockey. The only thing that's different in terms of like, the atmosphere is crazy is you just can't drink in the seats, but you just learn to crush 2 beers in the intermission.
Wait a minute. Say that again?
You can't drink in your seat.
Because?
Vera said so?
I don't know.
They don't have to clean up.
Yeah, I know in soccer it's to like reduce people getting like super drunk and like hooliganism. But like, and maybe it's for mayhem there, but everyone just, it doesn't change. You just kind of reverse what you do. Like instead of going to take a pee and grabbing a bite to eat in intermission, you're just crushing 2 beers that you would have drank during the period.
Yeah, but this is my whole thing about when I go to Oilers games. I crush 2 drinks in the intermission, and then I get to the seat with the other 2, and it's about 5 minutes into the thing.
So
and
Chalmers drinks 12 drinks during a game?
Yeah, that's more of just a you thing.
But it's more of the peeing strategy that I.
So there's no issue about peeing. You can crush 2 drinks, have a pee, have whatever. Like it's because it's not like 17,000 person arenas. There's no crazy bathroom lineups. There's nothing's crazy.
My strategy used to be to have, and it's not beer, so I'm not like crushing like 12 beers a game. It's Ryan Cokes.
Yeah, it's hard alcohol.
It's
way worse.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they're easier and smaller to drink. Anyway, so you'd have you'd have 2 in your seats, and then around the 15-minute mark, you'd go down.
You would
get
leave.
your pee out of the way.
You would,
and then
miss
you'd stand
game
by
action.
the bar, and you'd have another couple drinks, and then go back for the next period. That's my strategy for hockey games.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're taking notes, or Chuck?
Well,
I'm going to the game tonight, so yeah, I need
We'll try it on for size.
All right, there we go. That was a hell of a European podcast.
That was a pretty good episode.
Big brother.
It's a shame we're not listening. Oh, fuck.
Do you guys, yeah?
Your Ramcheck, is there
We
time?
got time? We always got time.
Previously on Big Brother.
All right.
What is up with bringing back Casey and JC and Tyler? What is up with JC's hair?
That was one of the worst segments I've ever seen on
It looked
Big
like
Brother.
black licorice cotton candy landed on his head right before the segment started.
Those 3 looked so uncomfortable, and when they were talking to them, the editing in that segment was so bad that when they would ask, and because these people had nothing to offer, when they would ask JC a question or they would ask Casey a question, they would give their small little answer, and before they could elaborate, they'd cut away to something else. Like Those people should not have been there, and they should have just cut that segment.
I was really reading on Twitter with my stands. That's what we call fans of different players. They're scratching their head for how to make this entertaining for the crowd, because I guess it's just like boring inside the house now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it seems like a foregone conclusion about how it's going to end.
Oh yeah, the Connor McDavid of Big Brother.
It seems that way.
You know, I was a Cliff maniac, but God, did he finish
fucked
the
things
game
up
dumb.
so bad. It drove me crazy. His final 2 deal, but not two-way street that he tried to pull with Mickey was ridiculous.
He was like, I got too reliant on the gentleman's agreement.
What else can he really do, though?
Yeah, but and that's fair. But like, how where does he think that he thinks his chance to like stay alive in the game is to make a one-way deal with someone?
No, but and in Big Brother history, has anybody ever, other than Dr. Will, actually told people what they were going to do and it still worked?
Thank you for bringing up Dr. Will.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Because he was the only player I knew that could literally tell you what he was going to do, and it was against you, and you'd have no choice because of the way that he played everybody, that he could back you into a corner. Cliff, if Mickey thinks that's the fucking deal, let him think that's the deal. Like, so what? You're gonna feel like you're gonna like you've spent this amount of your time being a super honorable Texan, right? And I get that. I get how that could probably fight with his like emotions inside of him, but it's a game, and when you leave the show in a month, nobody's gonna fucking remember it.
I think what you're seeing, it's like Tommy losing his marbles and telling everyone that he knew Christy. I think at this point they're just like very sensory deprived at this point. Like they are been locked up for 90 days. They're getting stir crazy.
Except for Mickey, he's laser
He's
focused.
a machine,
like
man.
it's you just have to respect what he's done. Like he was able to leverage and you know, he got like he scared them. He scared Cliff like to get them to keep Holly and honor the agreement.
That was so masterful.
You have to give respect and like, Cliff, what are you thinking? Like, and
Absolutely.
then to like, it's Nicole, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know why I blanked out there.
Vera.
It's Vera.
Her name is
Yeah.
Vera.
Like Nicole has been right. Nicole is actually, you got to give Nicole some respect. Like she's actually played a decent game. Like, and she's been kind of pretty aware and onto things when, you know, it was, you know, shit was happening, and
She gets bullied a little bit, though.
she does get bullied a little bit, and she trusted Cliff too much, and Cliff trusted
Kinda
I don't know what
screwed
the
her.
hell too much. Cliff ultimately will be her demise unless she can win the final HOH.
Cliff took her so far. Nobody else is going to work with her.
That's true.
He did
She
save
could have
her.
attached onto Mickey and Holly pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so
And they would
too.
have dragged her. Or,
Yeah.
or
I
just-
brought her
I-
because she started winning. So
Because
I
her
would've-
and Mickey always had a relationship.
I would have loved to see Nicole bully her opinions more than she did, though.
Yeah, she should have stayed
She's
strong.
a worrier, not a doer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually-
just like I put my faith in Vera.
Yeah.
She put her faith in Cliff and kind of let him kind of guide the ship, which sometimes will lead you to a underground gentleman's club.
The thing that pissed me off the most of this episode, and it shows you that they really don't have a lot to work with because they're bringing up drama in the jury house.
But how about that?
Motherfucking Nick.
I would literally rather watch a show about the jury house right now.
Oh,
yeah,
But how about Nick?
Nick
Who
just
does this
reaffirmed-
motherfucker think he is?
Oh, he's just a guy who's just in his 20s, man.
And who's the other? What's the blonde's name?
Cat.
Kat has a boyfriend, okay? So she goes into the house and she's like recording all these long ass emotional messages like, our relationship will stay through this and yada, yada, yada. And then bangs Mickey like week 2.
is gawgawing over Brett when he's in the house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like crazy. And then gets into the house like Bella, who I didn't particularly like. I feel really bad for her because they're throwing L-bombs at each other and shit. And then you remember when she had her exit interview and then Julie Chen was like, are you sure this is going to work on the outside? She's like, mm-hmm. She's like, really? Your mom's going to be down for this? Yeah. So she's been the whole summer not in the jury house, telling her family what a wonderful man she met.
Yeah, but she also saw him on live feeds with Sis, and then she like went
Who,
to
Nick?
Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they were getting close.
And Bella saw Nick and Sis getting close in the house. They were just cuddling. Like there was nothing more than them just like at night, just having a lay down in bed. Right?
What did Bella do?
She freaked out on Twitter and was
course.
like, I don't care about this guy. I can't believe the disrespect and all that. But then they went and they remember, like, wasn't it in the exit interview when Nick was like, yeah, I really like Bella.
Yeah, I love her. And he's
I
talking
love
to
her. I
her.
can't wait to see her. And Julie's like, okay. And then he gets to the house and Kat's all of a sudden like,
Yeah.
okay, so another man,
And then
finally.
they straight ask him, what about Bella? Like, on behalf of women. I was like, oh, I get why they don't like us.
Yeah.
We knew like Nick proved he was a
He's
piece of shit early,
shit.
and then all of a sudden, like people were like, "Oh no, like Nick's actually not as
That
bad as
piece
we
of
thought."
shit is one of a lot of our friends when we were in our mid-20s, if you put them on a show where they just like immediately got a connection with somebody, like think of these circumstances. Now he's in the jury house.
He's a love machine?
Now he's in the jury house. He's probably tipping a little bit of a few cocktails at night. And Kat's sitting there ready to party. Like,
this is why I was so concerned about Big Brother Canada season 7. Because I'm like,
that's true.
Fuck, man. What you don't know is what happens when it goes to jury, right? And everyone's just as bored. They have access to booze and there's no cameras.
Yeah, and you ain't kidding. And that's what's fun. Nick's falling prey to it right now. And Kat's just having a good time. You think she's
Summer of Nick. Well, I've always, Kat's been very entertaining.
Yeah. You're on camera right now, and he's like, oh, whatever. It's like, fuck it. I'm half drunk as it is, probably.
So who do we think, or Mike, do you have some, sorry. Who do we think, Bag Milk, do you have some thoughts?
I'm going to go out and say that I don't care at all about tomorrow's finale. Unless some kind of miracle happens where Nicole wins the HOH.
Which she might, man. That last HOH can...
It's the memory one,
maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
All she's been doing is sitting around worrying all summer.
Of course I'm going to watch it, but I just see this ending the way we all think it's going to, unless A, Nicole wins, or B, the jury has gone batshit crazy.
Which will suck.
And goes revenge mode like they did on Paul 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, both times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
I don't
know. Here, my
what you think
prediction.
about it?
Yeah,
No, sorry.
No,
I couldn't
take your
think of the
time.
word prediction for some
No,
goddamn
no,
reason.
it's
Pronounced Vera.
My prediction would be Mickey wins, takes Holly, and Mickey will, even though he's right when he thinks the jury hates him, they do, but I think ultimately they will respect him because when Tommy came out, he even said he respected what he did, even though he really hated what he
But
did.
Tommy's a two-faced guy. He'll say he respects somebody.
Yeah, that's true. But he had a chance. Like he didn't have to. He didn't have to say anything to like make someone feel good. He didn't have any. It wasn't telling anyone in the house. He was just. I think it was a chance to be real, and I think he was real there. But if for some reason Nicole wins and she's gonna take Holly, we already know that. I think Nicole beats Holly.
Yeah, Nicole beat Holly. Holly's coming in second no matter what.
It's amazing to me that Holly's been locked in the Big Brother house all summer. The only object of the show is to make these people look interesting. I do not know a single thing about her. I think she's one of the reasons why they have to keep going outside the house for content. Like, the only thing she ever said that was of any note was she was like, I left Wyoming to follow my dreams. I'm like, girl, you are what's called a safari wine guide. I do not know what that means, but surely to God, that wasn't your dream when you left Wyoming. Other than that, we don't know anything about her.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Hey, did anyone notice this? This is the first time they said what Mickey did. He was a waiter. I didn't know
I was
that.
going to say that all year.
Yeah.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the first time, or server. Sorry, I thought
always.
that was the first time I saw that.
So can I tell you what I did?
'Kay.
Just one quick last thing.
Quickly, yeah. Last thing.
Okay, what I did
Maybe.
on the Sunday show was now that football season's back, I record the CBS like 7:00 one right after 60 minutes. If a football game goes long, it cuts off your Big Brother taping unless you have it set to tape. And this is a rookie mistake on my part, and I didn't redo it. So until about 5 minutes ago, didn't know who won the first leg of the...
I don't know still, so don't tell me.
Okay, I won't tell you.
Oh, wow.
And the whole reason that I didn't, and even though after I had watched the show and it cut out and I saw the last thing, when you go and try to watch it on demand, you can't fast forward that shit.
Oh, I know, it's so
you have
annoying.
to. So you have to either just let it play for like 45 minutes and go do something else, or else you just look online. And honestly, I didn't really care to look online because I figured I might know who won. Just whatever. I didn't know, and it's set your PVRs.
So Chalmers doesn't know about the Cliff Battleback?
The Cliff Battleback.
Is Dave still there?
No,
David? Oh, yeah,
no,
he's the
no,
best.
no. Why would you fabricate something like that? Cliff is back. There's the 4 of them. It's gonna get really weird in the HOH. Shocker, your Remchuk is not up to date on Big Brother.
Yeah,
Even
what's
though
your
now we're
excuse?
recording on a Tuesday and not a Monday, we bought you more time. You're
PVR
still not
because of
prepared.
football, though, right?
Yeah, I'm busy, man. I watch a lot of junior hockey.
Oh my
That
God.
happens
You
at
gotta-
night. I don't have time.
Gotta mix it in, man.
I'm out here grinding. Yes.
Get
Bag
on the
milk.
grind. Man, I get government named all over this podcast.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's loud.
But our new thing is whenever there's a government name, I'm not going to take out the whole thing. I'm just going to put a bleep.
Cool.
Add some suspense.
Because Jay's already in bed with the Kremlin, basically.
Yeah, we're
And
screwed
now
no
my
matter
government
what.
name's out on this
Hey,
podcast.
I didn't shit on Russia at all. I actually thought Russia surprised me. It was.
You said you were glad they had or you said you were surprised they had a toilet. You said they had a toilet.
Yeah, Chalmers, hyperbole.
Chalmers, he's been
Yeah, you're-
compromised. Don't fucking push too hard, or him and his comrades.
Honestly, I felt surprisingly safe. St. Petersburg was a beautiful city. It was just interesting to kind of see it and kind of witness kind of a Russian way of life. So I would go back to Russia. Because the border guards are fucking babesicles. On the way back, going back to Helsinki, new set of border guards, another set of freaking border guard babes.
All right.
We'll have a fantasy football update. fantasy football update next week. We won't do one.
Pray for the Connor McMayfields. We are in trouble.
Yeah, I'm 2-1, so whatever. I'm all right. Okay, next week, I think I'm confident we're going to have a Mary Brown's Poppin' with Eric Greiba. That's right. All of our interviews are now sponsored by Mary Brown's and their Poppin' Chicken. Love the chicken, so shout out to Mary Brown's. That's coming up next week. We'll also get a chance to tee up the Oilers season opener, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening. Episode 140 of Nation Real Life is over.